trusting people, because people, they come and sell themselves to you, and you trust what they say, because you're not gonna lie to them when you tell them what, and then when they come, they are not there for that. They just want to get something from you.
The upside of failure, and I have to just take a moment to give props to my team, because I give them the hard task of getting very specific people that I know all of you admire, but I also just personally look up to. And it's not easy coordinating schedules. It's live radio. We don't pre-record this segment. We keep it as real as possible. And I'm so happy joining us today on The Upside of Failure is the founder of Jabu Stone Hair Care Products, Mr. Jabu Stone.
Hey, Relebogile.
Bona. My team and I are shocked. Why do you look the same way you did 30 years ago? Exactly the same.
Thank you, Relebogile.
Like the muscles, the threads, alles. What is the secret?
Hey, I'm sure it's to, be active, work out, eat, healthy food.
Yes.
All those things that they add value in your body.
And you mind your business
And
as
then you
well.
mind your business as well.
How namona? You mind your
No,
business.
you do your own thing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you walk away.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what I do.
For those that don't know, please just give us the story of how Jabu Stone came about.
I was born in the Eastern Cape, a street away from the father of Black consciousness,
Yes.
Steve Biko. So I think we moved as a family to Davidton. Mother was a teacher, and then she used to plait colleagues, and then that's where we started, getting involved in the hair industry with her, because we plait my colleagues' work.
Yes.
So we kind of got into that. And then Mankula and my sister, those days, Pam, and then my sister had a salon. Actually, she started working from home. And then from there, she moved to Benoni. And then Mina, I studied electrical engineering, Peninsula Technicon. Buyangenza some retail development program at West Business School. Then I think right there, that's when my interest started to grow into natural hair, because I began other types of hair.
Yes.
Then that's when I said, let me see. And then those years, I once had locks when I was a student at FUBA, Federated Union of Black Artists. But mangfika elokishini, people were not happy with me, because
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 back
it was,
then.
yes, it was kind of taboo, yes.
my-
But I said, but I don't smoke. Why?
I have
just
to
like the
I
hairstyle.
have to ask you, because back then, and I want us to paint the picture, because
Yes.
for anybody listening who's maybe a Gen Z will not understand the context. Gore, at that time, which what was 70s-ish area,
Yes.
we were all about the products that were making your hair shine and look silky.
True.
So if you guys are not sure what I'm talking about, go watch Coming to America. And there's a product in this fictional story called So Glow. When you sit on the sofa, it would leave this big patch of all of that. So
Yes.
at that time, dreadlocks were just associated
It was-
with Rastafarianism and
yes.
smoking
and
pot.
I give thanks to those Rastafarians, because they kept it going, they didn't stop. I think that's what made me to triggered everything in me. So, but I look at the Rastafarian hair, and it was more organic, the growth. And then I want to know, man, we can convert this, because there's cooler, in different forms, thicker, smaller. And then that's when we came up with a kind of cultivated way where you can twist hair towards a certain direction and at the same size. So I think right there, when I was with my sister, and then I said, but I'm not a chemist. I don't understand how
Yes.
to mix. And then that is why mentorship is key, because I met in Tate Silo, was selling a hair product called Lirato Hair Grower. Then I asked Tate Silo, I would like to start my own product. What do I go? And then he sent me to a chemist, Dr. Hansel. And then I went to Dr. Hansel. And then I want to start this product at Hansel for locks. And then he said, I gave him a brief that I need a product that is going to protect against the ultraviolet rays of the sun. And then he's making a note. He's writing down, and I said, I need a product that at the same time, then it will add moisture on your scalp. We have Bahala at that time, sunscreen agent, holding power, and all those things. That's how the first product came. We called it emolding cream. That is for the locks, be mold, inwele is hold it towards one direction, you twist it clockwise. So that's the whole thing started right there with that. And then, because mina bengenawo ama-locks, and I went to see friends ngibabuze ngithi indoda, what are you using? Omunye athi no ngisebenzisa sunlight soap, omunye athi ngisebenzisa i-Coca-Cola, omunye athi ngisebenzisa
Coca-Cola,
yes,
too
omunye athi
long.
ngisebenzisa i-honey. A friend of mine, okay, who's a shoe designer, he once told me he's using honey, and each of us, I understand in yours is young landela. No wonder.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So can you maybe help us understand, especially those that don't understand the lock world? When a person was just doing their own locks back in the day,
Yes.
it was not uniform. It was just what is it called when
Yeah,
you did
the washing rag.
So
Yeah,
you do
the-
the washing
yeah, the
rag
wrap
with the
around,
circular
yes,
motion.
yes.
Whatever comes.
That's right,
What
yeah.
you were creating is that you wanted something uniform,
Exactly.
where your dreads can be a certain size.
Yes.
And then the molding of the certain direction, was that for the styling or to keep the size?
The size is the same size and the neatness as well. Same size. And because what I've picked up, your hair doesn't stop growing because you press against your scalp. But if you
Yes.
pull your hair away from the scalp, it grows forever.
I got you.
You see, so that's a research I learned over the years. I said, okay, let's try something that's going to pull it away from the scalp. That is that time. Yeah. So that's how it started, the whole thing.
So I'm curious about the gentleman, the doctor chemist that helped you
Dr.
out.
Hansel, yes.
Dr. Hansel.
Yes.
Were you with him when he was formulating this? Did you do a testing phase, or you kind of he wrote things, put it together, and then you just started growing from there?
No, actually, it was a step by step with Dr. Hansel, because he would make a small sample and say, Jabu, just try this. Try, and then if it works, then I'll tell him, look, man, I'm getting some flakes here. I don't like it, and then he changes it and adds something, So I'll give him a brief from time to time until the product was perfect. Then I took it out to the market.
I'm assuming Dr. Hansel was a white man.
Yes, HMA chemistry. Yes.
So at that time, because I just want to really highlight the fact that the time you were living in might not have lent itself to that kind of a partnership where a white man during apartheid was even interested in a black person's hair.
Yeah.
At the time, did you see that as anything surprising that this gentleman was willing to help you, or that was not even a thought in your mind?
It was not a thought, because I went there to look for help, and he was there to listen, and he looked at me and said, Jabu, I don't know what you're looking for. I've never seen this hairstyle, but I can see it's going to work.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. I can see it's going, because I was so passionate about this. I can see this happening, Dr. Hansel. My research is telling me that by far in West Africa, they leave the hair to grow, and I even made it like people call it dreadlocks, and I said, because of the slave master said, your hair is dreadful, it's fearful, it's scary.
Oh.
Those are not dreadlocks, are hairlocks.
I didn't know that's where the name...
No, it's because when they see the hair, they said it's dreadful, it's fearful. So those are the things that I've learned, and then Dr. Hansel. So Dr. Hansel listened to me, and I went back to East Africa, the Mau Mau, those locked freedom fighters. I came down home and said, oh, Izangoma, because using the hair as an antenna to communicate with their ancestors. Those are the things that I was reading about. Going to Namibia, the Ovambo, Tamara, and they've got locks as well. So I made that research. And I went even to Zululand, where King Tingani, his warriors had locks as well. So, in researching, long palapans, I understand it, because I believe that if you go into the industry, understand it first. Then I even heard a scripture in the Bible in Numbers chapter 6, verse 5. It says, no razor shall come closer to your hair. Leave your hair to grow until they lock. So I looked at all, because now, you want to sell. I want to be convincing when I tell you, lock your hair. I can, give you all the examples.
I had no idea that the type of research you did was so extensive. And I think because Rona re godile where we saw Boklema Wisa already with dreads, when we were growing up as 80s babies, it was already the norm. But the way that you are sharing, it actually makes what you've been able to achieve even more remarkable. When you traveled and did that extensive research, and when you were still formulating the product, what were some of the really big and shocking things that you learned? I mean, the part about the dreadful, I mean, I was not even aware that that's where the name comes from. That, the parts about what you were sharing, that people were using honey and Coke, but it actually kind of makes sense because as a people, we've always been resourceful. We use what is there.
Exactly,
We figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.
And even what you say about the sunlight green soap, do you know, whenever my makeup artist or hairstylist doesn't have edge control, they just use sunlight green soap and it holds the edges. So we are resourceful. So what are the shocking things that you learned?
Actually, it was so bad, Relebogile, because I came up with all the research. I came up with the way how to do the hairstyle. And I invited stylists, to teach them how to do this hairstyle. I remember I had a class in Durban when I trained 10 of them, to give them product knowledge and how to do the hairstyle. 9 of them walked while I was talking. Yeah.
Because they were not
They didn't understand what I was talking about, and they were not interested because the hairstyle takes 45 minutes. They make at maybe 150 rand. With my one, takes them 3 hours. They make 120. So it didn't make sense for them. So and with the people right there, and also you go to the shops, you ask them to keep your product, and then they tell you who wants to buy this product. Nobody asking for it. So those are challenges I was getting.
What were those brands back? So there was the Dark and Lovelies and those big international brands that were being used.
Yeah, but their market was different from my one. They were more into Eurocentric beauty standard. I was more into Afrocentric. So they refuse point blank. So you get now the salons, they don't want to keep your product. Then I started renting a chair. Remember the days of Alex. I rented a chair from Alex. And then going to the shop, I remember the guy, Curtains at Small Street. Then I started sending my friends to go and ask for a Jabu Stone product, knowing that it's not there. So for him to think
you are so smart. You are people are listening right now, making notes, saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna send people."
I sent people to Curtains, and then immediately Curtains realized that all of a sudden there is a demand. Then I gave him 6 units, and then I told my friend to go and buy that 6 and go and ask him again. Then I disappeared for about 2 weeks. Then when I came back, I said, but I thought it's not moving. And then there's something we call it a gondola in a shop where when you walk in, you see the front is there, your product is there, and then you put on the shelf. Then I asked him for a gondola, and then he gave me for free.
Because now
there's a demand.
Oh my gosh.
Then now I can tell people, if you're looking for a Jabu Stone, go to Curtains. At least there's a place that I know. If you're looking for it, then you go to Small Street at Curtains.
And the nice thing is, now the other businesses are going to be like, hey, bana, all these people are going to Curtains, they go Small Street because there's Jabu Stone.
Yes.
I want to take a step back.
Right.
How many rounds did it take of developing the product till you were finally happy? And how did you measure? Because now you are the case study with the doctor. How many rounds did it take? Because I think it's important for us to understand, especially when it comes to products that have a clear vision of, trying to be natural, trying to tick multiple boxes. It doesn't happen overnight. It can take a very long time.
Right, yeah. You see, I always say my biggest fan is my wife. Everything I bring, she endorses it. I know it's going to work. So she's the first person in Amenzama Locks. And I remember my sister had a salon and she was proud. Look at my brother's wife. My brother did the locks. And they say, oh, no, Msa, your brother doesn't love her. Right there.
And this is a tip. This is why who you marry can make or break you.
Exactly. She was there. And my daughter, my first born when she was 9 months, started twisting her.
What?
So
and they called you
family. Yeah, so that's why the business start with your family.
Yes.
That's what I'm driving at.
Yes.
People that believe in you. Those are the people you have to start with. Make sure that those are the people that build you, believing in you, and then you go to your neighbor, go to the neighborhood. That's how you start.
And also the people that love you can give you the honest feedback to say, day 2, I already started itching. I don't think I can maintain
and the flake,
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
The flaking actually, you were shot. Oh man, there's this flaking thing, and then that's why you said, okay, let me change it. Before I went to people laba engiti, I'm a celebrity endorsement, like
Yes.
Abo Jerry Ranseri, abo
Yes.
Hot Stick Sipom, abo Ray Piri, the late,
Yes.
may his soul rest in peace. No, all the guys, So before I went to them, abo Lawrence Takwane, used to be Lawrence Dube then.
Yes.
Yes. So before I went to those people, then when I saw it, then I said, okay, let me go now to those ones because they are out there. Umuntu zambuza, hey, where did you do your hair? Jabu Stone. So that's how I started building that.
How did you start developing the brand, and what gave you the confidence to use your own name? Because it's so weird that I'm sure there are many of us, I'm going to include myself in it. I didn't know that the founder's name also was Jabu Stone. We just knew Jabu Stone as product Yadi Dreads, which just goes to show how big the brand became. But how did you make that decision? I think it takes a lot of not confidence, not guts. I want to use a word, but I can't say it on radio. It takes a lot of cajones,
Yes.
to put your own name and be that you're not calling it like Dreads Magic or whatever.
I because it was tough that time, and I wanted to market the business. I wanted to get in marketing this brand, and I don't have the money to market it first. And then I said, you know what? I think it's going to help me. Let me rather name my product, my name. Because when I go out there, then I'll be able to say, I am Jabu Stone. I'm selling Jabu Stone. So to me, it made, but in the beginning, people were not too sure. Are you sure? And then I said, no, call it Jabu Stone. Because I always say as well, because I'm grateful to my dad who changed his surname from Sithole to Stone.
Why did he do that? Please
Yeah.
explain the story. Is it because Stone could have been, is it apartheid related?
No,
Please
it's not.
tell me what
It's
it
not.
is.
My father is Zulu. And
Yes.
he, when he was young, I think there was, when his elder brother passed on, he was supposed to angene. And then he was traumatized, then he disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's his story. He said it disappeared. And then he changed his name, surname, and everything. So they couldn't, until he met my mother. And when my mother said, "Ndota uvela," he said, "No, man, I don't have family." So angomdane nyoka when. Please,
Yes.
where's your family?
Yes.
Until after my mother kept asking, and then until he said,
Yes.
"No, actually, in the Eastern Cape," he said, "No, my brother-in-law worked at Apex Railway." Mahlangu, and then my mother wrote, because my father bengafundanga again, then my mother wrote a letter. That's how we came back to Davidton from the Eastern Cape.
My goodness. There is, okay. Let's come back to the branding. So you put your name
then
on
the brand,
it.
yes, because
Yes.
I took that and then I said, here is a surname Stone, here's the name Jabu. So let me use my name and surname as the brand. And fortunately, the reception was so wonderful when I started telling people what products I've got Jabu Stone, and then people, they didn't have a problem. Because first I called it Afrocentric design. And people said, wow, ikamili tiranje.
It's complicated.
Yo, but Afrocentric, I'm going to design impahla. So it was like, you know what? Cut the whole thing. Jabu Stone.
Simple.
Simple as that.
No, because now Jabu Stone has become synonymous with dreadlocks upkeep, and not just any, the neatest, the healthiest,
Thank
the
you.
ones that grow super long, especially when people would believe, Hore, as black people, your hair will not grow longer than shoulder length, for example.
yes.
But dreadlocks have shown all of that. How, when you found out that Stone is not your original surname, what kind of research, now that we know research, did you go and do into the Sithole name? Because
I
we
did.
know how powerful clan names are, and how do you feel today carrying a name that is not inherited?
Number one, that name is a brand. It became, I'll call it a national asset now. So there's no way that I can change the Jabu Stone. But respecting Ostol, then I went back to find out, Lana Ostol wenzegani, so I went back, fortunately I went back to Ekuteni, where the Stole people are from originally. And I went there. And then that helped me, it helped me so much to understand, the origins of Ustole And that helped me to go 13 times back now from me to my father all the way
wow.
back. So that helped me. And then now I could pass that over to my children, because I was worried because my son will bring Intombazana Kastole or my daughter will bring. So I would just want them to know, even if Bango Stone, but it's fine. No, you are Stole. Stone, you're not related unless Walaika. But if you Stole,
and Stole is not an uncommon. So it's not like Mabotja, which is a rare surname. Stole is quite common.
Stole, yeah.
And that's why family trees are so important.
Very important. So I went there. Fortunately, the welcome and the warmth they gave me, I'm like, what? Then those are the things that really made me to, to feel even stronger as Sithole.
There are so many messages that are already coming in, and the story is just so fascinating and interesting to me. What exactly kept you going when the public was rejecting you, the stores, the potential clients, when you were making a product for people that society was in essence ostracizing and boxing into a certain corner, hence it had the negative connotations to it? What made you even, did that fuel you to want to do it even more? Because you're stubborn. Are you stubborn?
I don't listen.
You don't listen?
No. I
because
listen,
I know
but
those people.
I listen what you say, but I won't do it.
Yes.
I choose what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my wife always say that. No. I will hear what you're saying, but I'll choose which one to do. But anyway, my mother, again, boy child and the mother, I was one of those.
Yes.
And ngesixhosa uzawuthi umzingisi akanashwa. Now, umzingisi, it's when we are persistent about something, you will never be bad luck. She used to say that. Tanam umzingisi akanashwa. So that, and now I remember Lawrence after Smenzinwele, he was presenting it at Top 20. I was sitting with my friends, a heel bracelets up, and they all of us would say, hey, there's Lawrence, look at Lawrence here. Now they could see the difference. I said, now this is working. Now those are the things that would motivate me. Then I'll go to Small Street, and then there's a young man who came in a train from Cape Town to Park Station, straight to the salon, back to the Park Station, straight to Cape Town.
What?
I said,
just for that product?
For locks, yeah. And then I said, now, and then Omnia said, Jabu, I'm catching a plane from Durban, I'm coming. I said, now that's those small things. And I said, now if I can ever want to eat 10 of them, multiply them by 100, then I'm in business.
Yeah. We'll go to the news when we come back. We continue. It's 2:30.
702. The upside of failure.
The upside of failure. We continue at 20 minutes to 3 o'clock with the phenomenal Ntate Jabu Stone, founder of Jabu Stone hair products. If you don't know, but now must I call you Ntate Stole for the remainder of the conversation?
Job. One more job and then
then we are within. When you were a child, what did you believe you were going to be doing with your life when you grew up?
As a kid, really, I mean, those days, days of apartheid.
Yep.
And, there would just be a teacher, policeman, lawyer or doctor. Those were the
options.
Yes, coming back now, moving to Davidton. And I think, I mean, we went to work. I started working immediately after I finished my standard 8.
No sebenza koke.
They call it Allied Technologies. So when I worked there, then I realized, Guti, my mother looked at me and said, son, uzawuchata one day, and once umfazi ilokwe ikhazuke, she will leave you. So which means when you can't afford to do anything for your wife, she'll leave you. So do something. Then that's when I realized there's a school. Then there were evening classes in the company. Then I attended those evening classes and then started my N1, N2, N3, N4, N5.
Please explain.
Within the company.
Does that mean because you left at standard 8 to work?
Yes.
Those N-tons, was it like standard 9 and matric?
That is actually N3 is technical metric.
Oh, okay.
So I studied that N1, N2, and then I had now up to N5. So it was metric plus 2.
I got you.
Right in that company. Because now I'm thinking of, when that time comes, how am I going to deal with not looking after this lady. I'll be bringing her at home because my mother said, be careful. Uzokushiya, you know. So I'm like, okay, now. Then I had that matric plus 2. Then the company sent me to Peninsula Technicon to study electrical engineering, light current.
And when you were doing that and working before you officially started Jabu Stone, when did you decide, I need to quit this job to do this thing full time? Because I think for many people who leave corporate, leave stability to go and pursue their dreams, it's always the question. Some people say, I'll leave when I'm making enough money in the business to leave. No. Others say, if I will not make money if I don't quit now and do it full time.
Actually, the issue of starting my own business, because, you know, as a young person, I used to sell all the time. So the issue, in the business has been with me. So then I felt that I needed to start a business. But with this, I'm working in the electronic company. They supply post office and all that. I will never start. And then that's when I said, let me start, join my sister. That is the easiest one, closer to me. And then that's how I started now joining my sister. We had a salon. And then from there, then I got into manufacturing.
When did you start to scale the business up? When did you say, okay, now this thing has enough traction, we can start producing more units? And where was the doctor at this time in your life?
Now, you know, I always say that in business, you can only go as far as your eye can see. When you are there, you see further. So growth is not going to happen immediately. You know, one step, Dr. Hansel, and then the next step. And then I had Mr. Johan Grill, you know, in-house chemist now. He came in and then he started assisting manufacturing now in our own factory. You know, so now Dr. Hansel was there. Dr. Hansel kind of nice because Dr. Hansel, but maybe it's like contract packaging.
Yes.
He was manufacturing for different people, different brands, different products. So now I needed my own in-house now that anytime Mangimfun and then I'll get there. I mean, I'll get him. Yeah. So I had my own chemist, then and then I started out pushing there. And then now the sales, I realized that the salons, they amplify the usage of the product. Because if you go to the salons, you must give them product knowledge. That's when I started opening up my own salons. Then I had few salons around, but now training people only on locks only. You know, so our salons were just for lock market. That's why I called my stylists like they were locticians. Yeah.
Oh, listen, even giving stylists a name. We've got some voice notes coming through on 0727021702. Let's take a listen.
Oh, Relebogile and Jabu, what a beautiful conversation.
Oh, it's amazing. It's humbling, really. It's very humbling.
And to the lady who said she's been struggling, she's going to try the products. What do you recommend a person who's starting their locks journey? Which products of yours should they go to?
We've got a gel. We've just launched a black soap range products. So we've got a gel it's black in color. So you can use that to twist the hair, and then you get the sprays to apply moisture as well, because you need to keep your scalp moist all the time. So to avoid irritation, because it get itchy and all those things. So you don't want that.
What are some of the hardest challenges you faced with the business? It is very rare that a business will be at its peak all the time. Things change, and then at some point wigs became the thing. And from how you speak today, I don't hear a single change in your philosophy, which I just completely admire. Sometimes brands will evolve to try and do what everybody else is doing, and you have really found that pocket where people just know, if you want locks, and I'm also being mindful to not say dreadlocks, because I did dreadful. Locks, then you know where to go. But what is one or two of the hard challenges that you faced in growing the business?
The challenge, I think, because remember, like any other business, you start from like a kitchen, you start from a one room or little office-inyana, and to control the staff as well, I mean, they started like looking at you and start stealing, because it's a one-man show, So, and also trusting people, because people, they come and sell themselves to you, and you trust what they say, because you're not going to lie to them when you tell them what, and then when they come, they are not there for that. They just want to get something from you, So I've been a victim of that, trusting them. And also when you got your staff, your employees, when there's something wrong that is done, and then you don't act, immediately, so those are the things that you leave it, you start building up, maybe she was taking 20 rand, and then we are kupuka manje, it becomes 200, 2,000,
Yes.
20,000. So because of you didn't address it immediately. So smallanyana thing that you see, address it, and take disciplinary action immediately. So this is a business that we are running, and also those things that the business, it's a business, must be employing you when as the owner or the founder as well. So those are the challenges that I neglected, and I paid the price. I must be honest. I paid a serious price on that. But look, every time you like, what, I have to keep going.
My father calls them school fees of life.
Exactly.
They are dura. They are expensive.
Yes.
We've got a caller on the line. Leslie from Josie. How's it, Leslie?
All right, as yourself,
Good.
you've got a man there. Jobs. How are you? Jabu Stone, yes.
All right, thanks,
No,
Leslie.
yeah, it's been a long time.
No,
Yeah,
thanks.
no. I know where Jabu comes from, and how he started that product for dreadlocks. I mean, we were part of the people he actually experimented on, and it worked, and we were happy at the time. You remember, Jobs?
I remember that.
It's been a while.
I remember the twins. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, no, we should catch up. I'll call the producers to give me your number because I haven't seen you in a while. But thank you so much
Wonderful.
for the inspiration. I know that you always come up with something that's brilliant. Yeah.
Please stay on the line. I'm passing you back on to our producer, Leslie. So the person you were testing, what if the person's hair fell out? What were you going to do? I'll not tester.
No, but I started with me and my
Yes,
wife, the
yes.
family. So by the time I went to Leslie and the other guys, already, I knew that the product is going to work.
Okay. I just thought about something, ne? We were just laughing about the person who said they use honey in their locks. But only beeswax. Did you steal the idea from the honey guy? Confess now.
The beeswax is a raw material, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
So I made sure that at least there's kind of a bee issue that's coming there.
You owe that person money. Wabakolota. More of your messages. One says, Lebo, very good afternoon to you and your team. I once did a design for Jabu, which was to be translated into a graffiti wall billboard to advertise for him. I first met him in Yeovil, which was where his first shop was at, and much later at the Market Theatre, and I was a graffiti artist then. I would like to say to him, more fire.
Thank you very much.
More of your voice notes on 072-702-1702.
Hi, Relebogile Mabotja here. What's about as Jabu Stone there were people driving from all over the country. We were in Swaziland. My dad had forgotten to buy a Jabu Stone for my locks. I took a bus from Mankanyana, Swaziland, to Joburg over weekend to buy my twisting thingy and went back to Swaziland.
Yo,
What? Yo.
from Swaziland.
Wow.
This is serious.
That's humbling, really. It's very touching.
Yo, more of your voice notes.
Relebogile, very good afternoon to you and Jabu. That men in your studio inspired a generation. Some of us sported dreadlocks because we wanted to say, I am using Jabu Stone's products. Of course, this was before the solar panels crept in, when we still had our antennas up and running. But yeah, he's come a long way, a very strong brand, and a proudly South African, dare I say, a Southern African product. Thanks.
Hi, Relebogile. My name is Pumla. We were together with Jabu during those days at what used to be called Pentec. Now it's CPUT, I think so. As an engineering student, Jabu, I never thought Uti she will go to do hair, but Jabu is a very, very humble soul, very, very considerate, just a very humble soul, down to earth. I wish you all the best, but I've been seeing his brand growing from strength to strength. I wish you all the best, Jabu. I know you from way back, Pentech days. You were such a wonderful person and a very down-to-earth person. Keep going from strength to strength. Cheers, bye.
Yo,
Yeah.
people from way back. Do you actually realize the impact that you've had, or you are a little bit removed from how impactful you've been, not just to the hair industry, not just to the black community, but also like for the culture?
Yeah, it's humbling, I must be honest, first of all. But I just do what I was told to do, you know. I was brought up that way. I think I just follow that.
Have you now brought your children into the business?
Yeah.
So was it a choice, or it was just a natural progression?
Actually, my son, the last born, is the one who showed interest.
Mm.
Because abanye, they didn't show interest. I didn't bother. You know, Omunye studied drama and then came back, you know, got her own gym,
Yes.
Miss Fit for Women, you know, the gym for women. And another one did digital marketing, then venture into civil engineering. You know, just finished her honors in civil engineering. And then now my son started selling at an early age. He did exactly what I used to do,
Yes.
you know, and then started selling. Then he's the one who really taking over now. You know, I'm kind of giving everything to him now.
More messages. One says, please asking Tate Jabu, how should one maintain their dreads? Example, washing them, moisturizing from Tebohoko Haman scroll.
Yeah, to maintain, actually, you shampoo them. You know, you get a proper shampoo because we don't have a shampoo on our range. Get a best shampoo.
Next year, when you come on the show, you'll be telling us about the shampoo.
Yes,
again.
it's gonna come.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, but for now, we've got a oil. You know, blended oil that you know, it's beautiful oil. It moisturizes your scalp. And it helps to balance your pH, because remember, what makes your hair to, you know, to grow is because your pH is balanced. You know, once it's balanced, and then it will allow
I'm confused. You're saying I'm gonna fight with you.
that product. We discontinued it because
Oh.
the sales were not
I
that
got
great.
you.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
had a shampoo and a
Conditioner.
Yeah, so we discontinued because you see, you look, want people there, and then it becomes costly if you're gonna make not lots of items.
I got you. Okay, so when you do go to the jabu-stone.com website, don't be confused, but we're looking out for something. You've just released a new product.
A new product, yeah, the African black soap range.
Yes.
Of which we copy what our mothers in West Africa, especially Ghana and Nigeria, because for generations they've been using the black soap. So with you know, cleanses, you know, it's got all those moisturizing, you know. So we picked up that, and then we came up with ingredients that will also do what the black soap is doing. But here, our product, the black soap, it is not a soap. It is a hair product that you apply, and you don't have to shampoo or rinse it. But we used all those ingredients, like some of the ingredients you're using, your aloe ferox, which we found it from, you know, the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape. So, you know, with a lot of, it hydrates your as well, because it doesn't keep your hair dry as well. So we came up with all those products now, and that the black soap range is the new range that we've just launched.
In one sentence, what have you learned about failure?
A failure, you know, it could be very expensive, I must be honest. So you have to be cautious all the time. You must be cautious, and everything you do, you know, make sure that, you know, I always say that you verify everything. If you want to start business with me, I need to know who's Relebogile and all those before I take what you are telling me. So you have to be very cautious, and then, because failure becomes very expensive.
I officially give you your flowers. Thank you so much for all you have done for the community. And I just wish you onwards and upwards and even more blessings to continue in
Thank
the Jabu Stone.
Thank you very much.
Spend your afternoon
with Relebogile Mabotja
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.